You want to stay warm, but don't want to raise the heating bill. Blankets are okay, but they can slip and slide. And when you go to reach for something, your hands are trapped inside. But now there's the Snuggie, the blanket that has sleeves. Hey guys, I'm Sean. If you don't know, I'm filling in for Alex this week, and I just need to jump in and start talking about the Snuggie because it's kind of funny that we're talking about this week. I am sort of like an infomercial fanatic a little bit. Apparently, I watch all the channels that old people watch, and while they're sitting there waiting with their credit cards to spend the last amount of money that they have. Um, First, talking about the Snuggie, I guess these would include especially Animal Planet, Discovery Channel, A&E, and True TV, which I watch a lot of. But on the subject of the Snuggie, I just want to say, like, it's definitely the infomercial that is selling them because the infomercial is hilarious. For the record, I do think that Snuggie is a way better name than Slanket. Slanket sounds like something that someone would be charged with, sort of like murder. But like the Snuggie commercial, I think is so funny, and I'm gonna put a link in the sidebar because if you haven't seen it, you have to. I think it's so funny, infomercial land, which is filled with people that don't know how to do anything correctly. Like, it's a blanket, and it doesn't need to be as small as the one that won't cover her feet. And you notice that when she does get the call, she like throws the blanket off of her, like she doesn't understand how to answer a phone call with a blanket on. And also, there's always this like horrible single color haze going on, like in the Snuggie commercial. I think it's like blue or something, but it's usually like black and white, and the person always gets back pain when they do anything, like try to cut an orange or a lemon or try to pick up the rug or something. I don't know. Um, but I do want to say that I think that there's a weird thing happening here, in that first there was the towel, and people decided they want to wear towels. So they made a robe, which is like a towel coat. And then there was the blanket, and people decided that they wanted to wear the blanket, and they made the Snuggie and the Slanket and whatever else. Um, I'm just worried that we might be specializing on things that aren't clothes to be clothes too much. For instance, I mean, I do think along the same line that there should have never been a butt flap on onesie pajamas. Because honestly, do people really unflap that and like poop in the middle of the night? I don't know. Um, but what happens when people like make holes for their ears because they can't hear things through their hat? I don't know. Probably they'll become a millionaire and make a ridiculous infomercial about it. Um, but to answer your question, Amy, because you asked about things that we buy online, I don't buy anything like from TV. It's like a categorical thing that I cannot do because I feel like I'll be ripped off. But some of my favorites, which I have to name, are the My Little Reminder commercial, which I can pretty much recite off the top of my head. The Kanoki foot pads, which I think are a horrible, horrible sham, and my roommate and I laugh at them every time they come on. Obviously, the Snuggie. Anything with Billy Mays, most recently the Mighty Mendit, where he stands in an incredible industrial strength wind tunnel to prove that the American flag was mended correctly. Life Alert with the bitter old woman that talks about how her children weren't there when she had a heart attack. I think that one was incredible. The Clever Clasp, because people don't know how to put necklaces on. And yes, I am going to talk about the ShamWow, Eric. The ShamWow, to me, seems like such a horrible product. I feel like if anybody buys that, you ought to be losing money. I really hate the guy who sells it, and as much as he pitches it, now that's your mildew right there. You following me, camera guy? The fact is, the product still probably sucks. To prove, though, that I really love as seen on TV products, I have to show you this picture. I saw these three items lined up at Walmart, and they're three items that my roommate and I, who watch TV together a lot, absolutely hate so much that I laughed really hard. Alex, you asked us where our favorite vacation would be, and I want to say that I guess I'm going on my favorite vacation soon. Much like Shelby, I will be studying abroad next semester, so I leave in like 23 days, I think, to go to South Africa. So I'll be there for the whole semester. I probably won't be able to fill in for any videos during that time, I don't think, because I think you pay by the megabyte for internet in South Africa, and that doesn't translate well to YouTube. I do like the idea, though, Shelby, of you going abroad and being in England, because I think like for the channel especially, you'll be able to offer the perspective of a Midwesterner that has been misplaced, I suppose, and like how your time in England is going. Eric, on your question of when was a time that we had laughed like really hard or the most, I'm just gonna have to say in general, any time that I shouldn't have, whether it be in high school or university, any time that I shouldn't have been laughing and like I was in class or something, and it was like rude or totally inappropriate to laugh, it's probably a time where I started laughing and started laughing worse and worse and worse. Um, with that, I suppose I'm going to wrap up this video. You guys can look for Alex next week after he's back from his trip. I know he will be ready to share how his cruise went. I leave you today with my joint dance. Okay, so in the dance, I figured I would move all my joints, and I ended up jamming my toe. So it's not a good idea. It's a hazard.